Super glad to have you all here with me. Oh my goodness, it's just lovely to see everybody here. Um, I'm Lisa Campion. I'm so glad that you're here. And today we're going to talk business. We're going to do some conversation about what it's like running a business, running a spiritual business, and why maybe being too spiritual isn't really helping your case here. So we're going to talk about the real reasons that so many spiritual entrepreneurs struggle to build a thriving business and what to do about it instead. And if you know me, you really know that my mission in life is to create an army of healers to go out there and save the world, because I think the world needs all the healers it can get. And so like seeing all your beautiful faces here actually gives me hope in humanity. Like we could do it. We could save the world. And I know that if you're here, it's because you feel that call. You know, you're one of those people that have been called to do this work out in the world, to bring your beautiful healing gifts and your light out into the world. And I really just want to take a moment to honor you, to honor this group, to honor, like, I think 150 people signed up for this call. And of course, not everybody is here, but I'm like, that's beautiful to me. And I want to honor your mission and just tell you you're in the right place. So this is really for healers, empaths, Reiki practitioners, psychics, energy healers of all kinds, spiritual entrepreneurs who know they're meant to do big work in the world, but maybe we feel a little stuck, a little broke, or a lot broke, burned out trying to get your business off the ground. It's not easy. It's really never been that easy. And it's especially not easy right now, but because of just the economy that we're in and the craziness of the world that we're in. So we need a little more special knowledge than I think we ever have before. And I really, feel like we can't complete our mission if we don't know how to put ourselves out into the world. It's really hard to save the planet if you've got no clients and if people can't find you and you're so broke that you have to go back to your soul killing day job, or you're getting lost in the noise and the shuffle of what it's like trying to run a business in 2025. And here's sort of a sad truth. I was doing some research on, how successful are people's businesses these days? And it was so depressing. I found out that like 80% of spiritual entrepreneurs are making less than $30,000 a year. And yet they're doing some of the most important work on the planet. I found that sort of heartbreaking. Like, we got to change that so that we can put our whole being, our whole self, our whole heart into the work we're doing and actually make a living that can support us. So today we're going to talk about some of the ways that we can make that shift, some of the things that I've done so you can make actual money as a healer. That's what I want for you. And I'm going to share some of my really hard-won trade secrets with you, since I've been doing this for so long, and I had to learn everything the hard way, blood, sweat, tears. My gosh, it's been a journey. But I really want you to encourage you to stick around to the end, because at the end, we're going to do a really beautiful guided meditation to help you meet your higher self, get a little clarity on what your business and your mission is from your higher self standpoint. And I'm going to do a quantum healing to help you clear some money blocks, the blocks that we have to putting ourselves out there in the world. So I really hope you stay, because it's going to be super powerful and beautiful to be part of that guided meditation and quantum healing. And this is such an important and powerful personal struggle and story for me. I really feel it deeply because I've been where you are. I've been working in my spiritual business for 40 years. Isn't that nuts? I was like reading my bio the other day and it's like, Lisa's been working for 20 years. And I'm like, I'm doing the math. And I was like, oh, shoot, it's 40 years. And I started working. So I started working as a psychic when I was 19. You guys, many of you know this story, that know this about me, but that was sometime back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And back when there was really nobody was doing this. It was totally weird. It was totally weird to be a psychic. The only psychics were like the psychic hotline. It was pretty strange, but it was even weirder to try and make a business out of it. It was completely nuts. And I don't know why, honestly, I don't know why I thought I could do it. I just think when you're 19, you think you can do things. So I'm like, I'm going to be a professional psychic. And these days I have a really thriving business, but it really wasn't always that way. And in fact, 25 years ago, this is a sad and tragic story about me, a little bit sort of funny. But 25 years ago, I was a totally broke ass single mom with 3 kids. And when I was married, I was a stay-at-home mom at a very part-time healing practice. And it was sort of more like a hobby. Like I was seeing a couple clients a week, a couple clients a month. I had 3 tiny little kids. And then I got divorced, like really sort of suddenly, unexpectedly. Wasn't on my plan. I don't know if it ever is on anyone's plan, but I, found myself in this really difficult position where I had to make a choice. I could get sort of a real job, put air quotes around that, or I could put everything into my practice and really see if I could boost it into the full time. And in all that time, I'd never had a corporate job. I'd only ever been working as a healer, working as a psychic and a freelance writer. I used to do that too. And I put in job applications. I put in like 100 job applications for corporate jobs and I didn't get any. And I could really feel sort of like the universe closing those doors and being like, nope, you're not meant to go that path. But there was this one day when I was so desperate and scared. This is my Wendy's moment. I went to Wendy's to fill out a job application and I knew I would hate that job. I knew that it was totally a waste of my talents, but I was super desperate. And I'm sitting there like in this booth at Wendy's, like huddled in the corner, hiding in the corner, hoping nobody that I knew would recognize me. I've got this little paper application. This is how long ago? It was like 2023. I've got this paper application I'm filling out. And I felt like this total failure, this absolute like, how has my life come to this? Like, how did I get here? Shame, tears, like horror, and this like little tear trickling down my face, like splashing on the application. And thank God, I had one of those like lightning bolts, life-changing revelation moments, like a lightning strike where you're like, bam. And I had a vision of actually like, sort of like my life as it is right now. I had this vision of myself, like a future. I felt like my future self walked in and sat next to me and was like, honey, no, like we're not doing this. And I had this vision of like this office. I could see this office building that it was actually an old, funky old mill in the town that I lived in. And I could see what my office would look like. And I could see, I had books. It's so funny. It was the first time I saw books. I saw 5 books on a bookshelf. I'm actually working on my 5th book right now. Isn't that weird? Like it was pretty psychic. And I was like, had money in the account. I got this full body chills, full body, like, when you feel like the lightning bolt. And that was it. I just knew that was my moment. And, we have these choice moments in our life, like these choice crossroad moments that I could buckle down and do the hard work and make it a full-time practice, or I could just give up on my dream. And it's like like I would die on the inside if I did that. And I just had to take a leap of faith. So, I ripped up the application and I like walked across town. I was like digging change off the bottom of my car, to buy gas. It was like really like that. And I filled out this application for this office and I got it. And it was the same. It was like the same thing that I saw in my vision. And I really think even then, that sort of jump-started my career, like launched it into this new cycle. But even then it wasn't that easy. Like this was 2003. So there wasn't really a lot of help. And I still had to figure things out the hard way. There was no business coaching classes, no, mastermind groups. There's barely any internet. Think about that. No podcasts, no online business courses, nada. Like just me trying to thrash my way through this and figure out how to really run a business as I went. And I learned entrepreneurship like I learned most of the things in my life. School of Hard Knocks. I'm very proud graduating member of the University of Hard Knocks, right? Making every mistake along the way. And it really makes me happy to think that I made those mistakes for you. I made those mistakes so that you don't have to. And fast forward to now, like, I run multiple online successful programs. I teach psychic Reiki and psychic development classes online. I've published 4 best-selling books and 5th one's on the way. I have my own podcast. I recently created my own style of quantum healing. I have a year-long apprentice program where I help mentor healers who want to quit their day jobs and go pro. And my my work has supported my family, put my kids through college, allowed me to buy a house, put money in my retirement account. And last November, my son and I bought a cottage in Maine together. And I'm telling you all that just so you know that it's possible and that you can make a good living doing healing work if you know what to do and you're willing to put in the support and you're willing to put in the work and you have support. So I think it's really painful and difficult to try and go it alone. I don't. I have a coach. I have a mastermind group. Sometimes I have more than one coach. Like I couldn't do any of those things that I said that I do without help. And I've had to do a lot of it alone. It's really no fun. And I couldn't operate at the level that I do now without lots of support systems around me. And here's the real truth about like spirit that's sort of different for us healers, like us spiritual types, have to work entrepreneurship in a different way. So it's kind of a truth that people don't really talk about very much, but being an amazing healer and deeply spiritual and a total spiritual badass, it doesn't automatically make your business work. I wish it did. I wish I had a magic wand and I could just wave it all over all of us and just have our businesses be like, bam. But being in our light and doing our sacred work isn't enough to actually, run a business that can, have clients find you, have them book sessions, they pay your fee and send you all their friends, right? So spiritual devotion is beautiful. And we need good, solid business strategy to go with it. When we put those two together, it's like magic. It's something really magical happens when we bring them together. And I think healers fall into the trap of thinking that if we're in proper spiritual alignment, clients will just magically appear. And that might look like, waiting for signs instead of taking action. And I was hanging out on this freaky Facebook group the other day, and it's Phil. This is a great group that it's not my group, but I visit there a lot. And this, I don't know, there were 5 posts of people who are like, I'm praying and, asking the angels to send me clients, but I don't have any clients. It's not working. And I was like, wow, that's not how that works. It feels like it's wishful thinking, that we can somehow pray clients into our booking calendars. Sometimes I see really intuitive folks quitting when it gets hard because as soon as we face those challenges, they feel like it's a sign that they're on the wrong path. And we get a little resistance, we get a little friction, we get a little inner childy, or inner child has a temper tantrum because it's hard. And we're like, I'm out, that makes me sad when I see that, because we have to learn how to keep our nervous systems regulated and deal with our inner children in a way where we can be resilient enough to work through the challenges. It's like a spiritual fallacy that it's totally easy. And if there's any hardship, that it's not a sign that you're not doing it, right? And the other thing that I see, we're going to get sort of really down in with some of these blocks that people have, and I'm going to give you some really solid solutions. But it makes me also sad to see people who are charging too little, working for free to be of service, and spiritual people shouldn't make money, And then I think a lot of us avoid marketing, creating visibility because it feels icky or because we're afraid of being seen, and for some really good reasons. I get that. So there are these specific challenges that I think are unique to us as spiritual healers and energy, Reiki people, spiritual healers. But there's a heavy cost to that. And I think that this is sort of this paradox, or also a little bit tragic, that we came here, this group, all of us today who are here today, came onto the planet at this crucial point in humanity's history to be part of the wave of light that's sweeping over the planet, right? We are part of the shift in human consciousness. We chose to be here on purpose, like people join the Peace Corps, right? And it's so important. It's like saving the planet, and what a sacred and incredible mission that is. And we're not doing it. We're not helping the world by staying invisible, by feeling broke, by being burned out. And so, like, if your clients can't find you, I always say you can't save the world if your clients can't find you and you're sitting home twiddling your thumbs instead of, getting clients. So the good news is you have half the equation, that your spiritual nature is your superpower. And when we take that spiritual nature, that beautiful alignment, that incredible soul's mission, and we align it with real world structure and strategy, I think we're unstoppable. I think we're unstoppable. And that's really what we're all about, and what I'm all about. So that's where we want to get you. You're bringing your spiritual mojo and your gifts, and I'm going to help you navigate some of the trickier terrain that we have in our business world. So let's take a look at what goes wrong when we try to do business. What's the biggest mistake spiritual entrepreneurs make that I see, having trained many of them in my program. And the first one we talked about a little bit already, waiting for the universe to send clients. And I just see so many people sort of not putting the effort in to make themselves visible. And like I said, I was saying about that Facebook group, if somehow we pray and meditate and send Reiki to our business, that will just magically get clients. And I know that when we come out of that wishful thinking, we realize that we are in this 50-50 co-creative relationship with the universe. We have to put in our 50% of the work, and the universe meets us halfway. And here's a funny story about me. I'm giving you guys all my sort of dirty laundry stories. This one's hysterical. But it was back in the 80s. I was probably in 20-ish, I don't know, sometime in my 20s. But it was in the sort of the throes. I know I was still at university. So it was throes of the new age, the dawn of the new age. And that was so exciting to me. Like, I got my first spiritual teachers and psychic teachers, and I joined the spiritual group and study group. And we were working with abundance, so law of attraction. This is when the law of attraction stuff really first came out. And I was taking this seminar on abundance. And they were like, visualize what you want, visualize that. And I would meditate every day and imagine $20,000. I just sort of imagined that the angels were going to come and drop a big bag of money on my head. I made a vision board. I did all the things. I was so dedicated with my meditation and visualization practice, but I actually didn't do anything. I didn't get off the meditation couch. I did zero to nothing, not one thing, to try and actually help me get clients. And one day I'm like, $20,000, and I could feel my guides rolling their eyes, and they're like, Lisa, that's not how it works, honey. And I was like, what? And they're like, and they told me it was really great kindness and compassion, that if I wanted $20,000, I had to do something worth $20,000. Maybe it meant creating something, and selling 20,000 of something that costs $1, or selling 200 things that cost $100. And I was like, oh, face palm, I have to do something that's worth it to somebody else. It was a total revelation to me. And I know it sounds super silly, but that's when I took that lesson in very deeply. And from that point on, knew that I had to take inspired action, and put my own work in towards it. And I just think that, why do we do that? Why do we get really passive? Why do we avoid taking action and just think if we are spiritual enough, things are going to land on us? But I think as spiritual folks, we just feel like taking bold action feels pushy or egoic, or that wanting money and needing money is somehow not spiritual. I think we really fear visibility, sort of really hard to put ourselves out there. And it's safer to sort of risk, be passive than risk rejection. And there is something that's so tender and vulnerable about putting our real self, our real higher self. It's like if you do a corporate job you hate that doesn't feel like really you, and you get rejected, you're like, meh. But if you're doing your real thing, like your absolute authentic soul purpose self, and we get rejected, it's super ouchy. And I think we kind of hide our hearts. We sort of protect ourselves around that, and it prevents us from putting it, we always say it's so hard to put ourselves out there. So hard. I can't put myself out there. It is. I just really want to honor that. It is hard. And for me, like, I just have to do a ton of inner child work all day, every day, and for 25 years so that I can step out of my comfort zone and do sort of the next thing that, because the next thing I'm supposed to do in my business just scares the heck out of my inner child. It's nonstop. Like, you know, write another book, start a podcast, get on TV. I've been on TV a bunch of times. I'm about to be on TV again. Actually in September. Oh my God. I'm going to be co-facilitating in a retreat with some very famous people, and a lot of really famous, like, people from California are going to be in the audience, and it's getting filmed by a film crew, and then it's going to be on Gaia TV. And my higher self's like, yeah. And my inner child's like, don't make me do that. We have to really do the inner work to support these more vulnerable parts of ourselves as we go out into and really do it, right? And there's a big cost when we fall back on this wishful thinking and that passivity. Like, it's no fun being broke or having really unpredictable income. And this is what I see happen a lot. This also makes me sad, is that there are probably practitioners who are not as good as you, not as pure as you, not as beautiful as you, not as skilled as you, who are out there getting the clients in, raking them in. And because you're not making yourself really visible, doesn't mean that they're better than you. It just means I hope they're not getting your clients. So we have to kind of step up and do that and really work through those more vulnerable pieces so we can share our message with the world. So trust the universe, but co-create. Don't be passive. Spiritual alignment plus consistent grounded action. So winning formula. You do your 50%, universe meets you halfway. So what do? Let's promise each other that this week we're going to commit to one visibility action every day. Treat your practice like it's an actual job. Put it in your calendar. This is the formula. Alex Hormozi, 100 minutes a day to work on your business. It's not very much, really. He actually says 100 minutes a day to work on lead generation. I say start with 100 minutes a day to work on your business. Send one email to your list. Make one social media post. Reach out to one past client. Do something, be in forward motion. And when we're in forward motion, when we're in spiritual alignment and in forward motion, we get some traction. So that's the number one mistake, being passive and hoping, wishful thinking. What Carolyn Mace, she's such a hero of mine. And she always used to say, when you do spiritual work, you need a backbone, not a wishbone. I love it. So true, right? So we need to find our backbone, get rid of the wishbone. Here's mistake number 2. People can't find you. The internet, social media is constantly changing. And if you're not keeping yourself visible, you're going to get lost in all the noise. And this is a really, really, really big one. The sad truth is, if they can't Google your name and find you, it's like you literally don't exist. People will be like, oh my God, I went to this amazing healer. You should go. And we want them to remember your name. So I went to Sally Joe. She's incredible. Brand your name. Brand your name. Brand your name. Write it down. Because when that person's friend goes, Sally Joe, I'm going to remember that. We hope that that they can remember your name. They're going to go to Google and they're going to Sally Joe's healing, Sally Joe healer. If they can't find you, they're never going to remember your business name. Nobody's going to know there's 8 million, and I say this with a lot of love, hands of light healing, whatever, that people, you're lucky if people can remember your name, never mind your business name. Nobody knows my business name. The only person that knows my business name is my accountant and the IRS, lisacampion.com, right? Because I want people to Google Lisa Campion Psychic, Lisa Campion Healer, Lisa Campion Author, and find me. And if they can't find you in the first few pages of Google, it's like you don't exist. right? So and then when the website comes up, when your website comes up, so we need some really good CEO. We need to brand our name. When the website comes up, if you don't have a website, it's like you don't exist. It's like you're not there, right? So no website, big problem. One that's outdated, confusing, buried so deep in Google, people can't find it, big problem. When I teach my Mastering Your Business class, skills class, I do website review for everyone in there to help them see what needs improvement. And sometimes it's just a few tweaks. Lots of times I see people's websites that don't say what they do. I'm like, is this person a realtor? Is this person is this a house painting service? Like, what is this, And a lot of times it can look great. Often I see people, their website's totally beautiful, gorgeous, but it doesn't convert well. Doesn't convert to paying clients. So it's not okay for it to just look pretty. It's got to have a certain set of information, a really strong call to action, right? Somewhere a big old red button that says book here to get a client, or click here to get on my newsletter, whatever you want your call to action to be. Usually it's a booking, right? You have to have a strong call to action repeated multiple times. You've got to have an online booking link, an online booking calendar these days, and also people make mistakes. So the number one question we have to answer when people get onto your website is you have to answer the question. Everyone's asking, what's in it for me? Why should I spend my time and money with you? What am I going to get out of it? Is this going to solve my problem? There's so much noise. If you can convince people that you can solve their problem, you can make their pain go away, they will pay anything. They'll be weeping in gratitude that they found relief and that they found you. And actually, this is so funny. So as a person who teaches healing modalities, I'm going to tell you, people don't care what your healing modality is. They don't care. You can put your bio on there, but it's not the most important thing about you. Your healing modalities aren't the most important thing about you. They want to know if you can help their problem or not. They want to know if they can trust you. They want to know that you're actually going to do what you said you were going to do, and there's going to be results. They want to know that, you're trustworthy. They want some social proof. They want some testimonials so they can know whether to trust you or not. And when they get to that point where they trust you and they know you have integrity, that you're professional, that you show up, that you can actually, and it's not fix their problem in a magic bullet kind of way, but actually, provide relief for whatever they're going through. You really understand them. You see them. They will open up their wallet. They will throw money at you. They will gladly pay your fee. They will send you all their friends, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what people are looking for. That's what we're here for. That's what we want. That's what our clients want. And that somehow there's this gap. If you can't fill that gap on your website, people are like, I don't know, and especially in the world of noise that we live in right now, clear, compelling, paint a purpose statements, beautiful picture of you smiling. And all of that is going to start having a website that's going to create clients, right? So when people can't find you, there's a massive cost. It's sort of like invisibility, losing potential clients, missed opportunities when people hear about you but can't quickly find you and book you. Creating a difficult user experience that turns warm leads cold. We don't want to make our clients jump through too many hoops or search too hard. I was looking up this healer the other day, somebody really recommended, and I'm like, where's their office? Do they do remote sessions? Where's their phone number? What do they actually do? How do I book a cat? It was the most difficult, and I gave up. Because I was like, if you're making it that hard for me, I'm out. Even though people were raving about this person, I don't know. I think we have a 30-second attention span. Even I do. For that, if it's not all smooth, that's what the healer looks like, oh, there's her contact info. Oh, she's in my town. She has oh, she works remotely. That's great. Here's her fee structure. This is the results. Oh, and she does it this way. That's where we're cooking with gas. So what action steps are we going to be able to take to make ourselves findable in 30 seconds, right? Somebody hears your name in a coffee shop, they're going to pull you up instantly and find you in 30 seconds. Brand your name. Create one clear homepage that's set on your website that says exactly who you help and how. Put that call to action, that booking link everywhere, bio, email, website, everywhere you can. In your website signature, on your email signature, and please do some SEO, search engine optimization, so that you show up. And those are things that you may need help with. If you're not a techie, you can, get somebody who will do that for you. And that's something that I also do in my business class. We all go through that, right? We go through all that thing here. And this sort of leads into the next mistake number 3. You can't clearly say what you do and who you serve. So this pattern is, people ask you, what do you do? And you're like, you freeze, you stumble, you ramble, you say something so vague they don't know. Or you say a lot of like really spiritual words that, people are like, what? We don't want to use a lot of spiritual jargon. Not everyone knows what a chakra is or what Reiki is, right? Or we're talking about our process instead of the results they feel. And when I finally first got a business coach, this is a funny story too. I don't know when, this is probably in the early 2010s, like 2012, like around there. I got my very first business coach. And the first thing she did was make me come up with an elevator pitch. And an elevator pitch is how you explain what you do in one sentence. So in the time that you're in an elevator. And it has this pattern to it. So I work with, and you can write this down because this is a really good one. I work with blank, that who is your ideal client, doing what result to get them, to bring them to this, using this method. I work with who, bringing them to this result using this method. So I'm a spiritual guide who helps connect people with their higher self is maybe too vague. I'm a spiritual guide. People will be like, a spiritual guide, higher self, what? So afterward, when we use the elevator pitch formula, I help overwhelmed women release anxiety and find their inner peace through energy healing. That's a whole different story, right? So my business coach, and it was sort of torturous coming up with my elevator pitch. You guys have heard my elevator pitch a million times. I work with psychics, healers, and empaths to help them bring their gifts to the forefront so they can go out there and save the world. Because I think the world needs all the healers it can get. That's what I do. It's what I've done my whole life. It's what I've done the whole entire 40 years of my career. And it took me a while to figure it out. And my business coach made me say it over and over and over and over again while I was looking into the mirror and smiling. Literally the next week, I was invited to be on a TV show. I've been on TV a couple of times. It was one of those psychic paranormal TV shows. And the cameraman, we're there, first 5 minutes in, the cameraman sticks the camera and the microphone in my face and says, tell us what you do in one sentence. And I was like, I work with psychic healers and empaths, helping them perfect their gifts so they can step into the world because the world needs all the healers it can get. And I was like, I did it. I was so grateful. But this business coach who I was really cranky about it when she made me do it. And I was so grateful. And I've been so grateful ever since. So we need to say it in a way that a 5-year-old can understand what you're saying. And with not a lot of jargon. And this is so gosh dang hard for us healer types. Because I find we're so blocked in the throat chakra. In my business class, we work a lot with clearing the throat chakra, clearing our voice, learning how to say what we do. And the stakes are high for us. We don't want to say what we do because people are mean on Facebook. Because what is crazy old Aunt Mildred going to say to you at the next family gathering? What if people are mean to you? What if what if we have the witch wound, where we've been persecuted in our past lives for being healers? It's tricky. It's really something that I think is hard for us healer types in a way that it is not for other people. So we have to work a lot on clearing the throat, feeling safe in the world, saying what we do, practicing saying what we do, gelling down what we're doing into that kind of so people go, oh, or I help like stressed out mothers find, inner peace by having a meditation practice through meditation. And people will go, stressed out healers, meditation, inner peace. Got it. Boom. Puts them in the ballpark. And then if they don't want more, tell me more. Like tell us more about that. Other people will be like, okay, that's enough information. And that's all. I don't want to know anymore. But we have to gel it down in this formula. And here's something super cool. So I just developed these custom GPTs, custom chat GPTs. And one of them that I'm giving to my business class, this year's business class, which is brand new. I'm like redoing it. So everything's brand spanking new. And one of the things that I'm doing is helping people understand how to use AI in their business. Because if you're not using AI in your business, you're going to get left behind by all the other people that are using AI for productivity. And so I have created this custom chat GPT that helps you walk through this process. It's super fun, actually. Chat just asks you, the GPT asks you a series of questions, and it pops up your elevator pitch. Easy peasy. It's fun. Sorry, I just almost swore there. It's amazingly brilliant. I'm from New England, so sometimes they slip out every once in a while. So that's it. You have to be able to open your mouth and say what you do in a way anyone can understand. That's mistake number 2. We're getting there. We're getting down to the last one, I promise. And then we're going to do some meditation together, and I'll keep this one short. The last one is avoiding marketing because it feels gross. And hey, I get this. Sometimes marketing can be really gross, but it doesn't have to be. Real marketing, and real marketing is sort of beautiful and spiritual, actually. Real marketing can be deeply authentic, empathic, and telling your story so people can feel your vibe. Real marketing is about vibration, resonance. It's about understanding and learning the universal laws of resonance, and vibration, and telling your story, resonating your vibe out in a way that the people who are meant to work with you can feel your vibe and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, that's what I want. Having empathy, right? Like sharing your story in a way that helps people understand that, helps people get that where they've been, that they can trust you because you've been there, right? And those are things we're good at. We're good at empathy. We're good at vibration. We're good at being authentic. And when we do marketing that way, it feels kind of effortless. Thank the Lord. It doesn't have to be gross, bro, sleazy marketing. It doesn't have to be fake, manipulative, salesy. And I know we've all been victims of sort of that influencer type marketing stuff that doesn't feel so good. We don't want to sell out and give up our core principles, right? And we don't have to, but we have to do something. We have to figure out a way to tell our story. Marketing is telling your story in a way that other people can relate to. So it's sacred communication. It's sharing your story, energy in your heart, so people who need you can find you. And like I said, this is where being spiritually aligned is your greatest strength. So it's actually so beautiful. On a practical level, get a marketing schedule and stick with it, right? So when I work, my work looks like this. I spend a third of my time seeing clients, teaching classes, doing coaching sessions. I spend a third of my time creating content, writing books, blogging, creating courses, podcasts, content creation. And I spend a third of my time marketing, creating social media posts, creating YouTube videos, doing emails. And when we do that, there's kind of this flow in the business that keeps things moving forward. So I think if you can reframe marketing into sacred communication, into using the universal laws so that you can get found, and it just a little bit with consistency can really start moving the needle for you. I know that was a lot. Thank you for sticking in there with me. We're gonna get to the meditation and the healing in just a minute. But I think like, maybe you're like, okay, Lisa, that sounds great, but how do I actually implement all this without losing my mind, without losing my spiritual center? How do I do business in a way that sounds familiar, that feels authentic? And I think that's where a lot of business programs for healers actually really fail, because they're assume that you're comfortable with traditional sales approaches. They're created by people that haven't really worked with healers. It's not specifically for healers. And what I know about having trained hundreds of healers in business skills is that we have to do the inner work. We have to feel like worthy inside, deserving. We have to work through those like abundance and money blocks so that we feel worthy and deserving of getting paid. We have to do inner child work and inner critic work. We have to calm down the voice of the inner critic who's like, who do you think you are? That's sort of the root of imposter syndrome, So if you're dealing with an imposter syndrome, it's an inner child, inner critic thing. We have to work through the throat chakra and maybe some past life stuff or whatever fear we have around being visible. And we absolutely have to do inner child work. Because if you don't do inner work, I can teach people in my business program, I do 50% inner work and 50% business strategy, because I know I can tell people what to do with their business. But if we're not working with these more vulnerable parts, the inner child, you're not going to do it. Like, you're going to sabotage. You're going to go into imposter syndrome, perfectionism, money fears. We're just going to jam everything up. And maybe that's where you are now, right? I know. Okay. So we really need something that handles both the business strategy and the inner child. And that's what I want for you. I want you to have it all. Okay. And I want you to imagine, like, if you have it all, if you have beautiful business strategy and incredible, like, you're really handling your inner self, what if 3 months from now you're fully booked? You're confident in your message. Your business is running with ease. You're getting paid to do the work that you love. You're without selling out or burning out. Burning out's a big problem that we have. What if we have like a line of clients out the door, sending you all their family and friends? And it's the healer that's done the most inner work that has the line out the door. You guys know that, right? Maybe what does it feel like? What's it going to feel like if money's piling up in your bank account and you're sleeping at night because your calendar's booked? And that's not just a dream. I know it's possible because I do it. And that's what I teach in my business class. I'm so excited about this upgrade. Mastering Your Healing Business is brand spanking new. All new material starting this year. But it's really that particular blend of inner work and business strategy so you can show up powerfully and take you from being scared, invisible, sabotaging to confident, visible, profitable. So I'm just excited to offer it. And what you get is 12 weeks of program with me as your mentor, weekly calls we're live where we solve your challenges and problems in real time. We do accountability partners so you can keep moving forward. I'm going to give you access to all 6 of these AI tools that I created for healers, including the GPT elevator pitch tool we talked about. I'm throwing in a lot of quantum healing in this new business class. So we're going to be doing guided meditations and quantum healings like we're going to do tonight all through our work together. And I really think this is going to boost everyone's, it's like putting the accelerator on. And the results results are good. I mean, they're amazing. I've led hundreds of people through this program and it's solid. It works. You're going to have the confidence, the clarity on the messages that you offer without being burned out. And I know, like, if you were to do this work with me privately, like one-on-one, it would cost like $10,000. Business masterminds cost $8,000 to $10,000. Coaching programs, $2,000 a month, right? You can join this one for only $2,000 for 12 weeks if you take the early bird rate by August 12th. After that, the price goes up to $2,500. Lots of payment plans. We do custom payment plans. So if you're feeling like, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I just want that container. I don't want to be flapping out in the breeze doing this by myself anymore. Then I just want to throw that as a possibility for you to consider and really, think about, where are you going to be if you next year, if you don't support yourself, if you don't give yourself the support, right? And I take just a limited amount of people because I keep the cohort small, make sure everyone gets attention. So we're starting August 25th. And if you join in the next 48 hours, you're going to get instant access to my 6GP tool. So you can get started on working on your stuff right away. If you're feeling it, if you can investigate it more, sign up. The class is like half full right now, actually. So there's a link for it in the chat, and you'll get it in the email too when we go through the guided meditation. When we go through the in your email, when you get the recording, it'll be in there too. Or if you have any questions, you can just comment. If you want to hop on the phone and talk to me about it, I'm happy. I book free 15-minute calls for folks if you have questions or you just want to talk through if that's right for you. Just let me know and we'll chat about it. So let's take a breath. That was a lot. And we're going to go into our guided meditation now to meet our healer self who really thrives in the business world. And let's take a moment to ground ourselves. So I want you to, if you can, get your feet on the floor. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, do that. I invite you to do that. And we're going to center a little bit because we just talked a lot. It was a lot of thinking. Let's get back in the body. Really feel your heart. Really feel your belly. Breathe into your tailbone. So take a few really deep inhale breaths. And as you're breathing, inhaling, we're just collecting ourselves, calling our energy back home, recalling your energy. Maybe we imagine cutting cords with all we were doing before we got here and all we have to do before we leave our time together. Make this sacred space for you. Calling your energy into your heart, into your belly, tailbone. And on the next exhale, just drop energy down your tailbone, like relax your tailbone, uncurl your tailbone, letting go of stress, feel the grounding cord, go down through the chair, through the layers of the building you're in. Sometimes I think about sitting on a pillar of light as a way to deeply connect with the earth. Maybe we feel the energy of the earth rise up to meet us. Very grounded, very centered. And let's just open up our connection to our higher self now by imagining a big beam of light coming in the top of your head. And on your inhale breath, you're going to pull that beam of light down. Let it open up your upper chakras through the crown of your head. Let it rest for a minute in your pineal gland, sort of lighting up your pineal gland, your psychic center. Let it move through your throat, opening any blocks in your throat, and really land in your heart. So take that moment to open your heart. Let your heart receive love from your higher self, from your soul. On the inhale breath, from maybe that light comes all from your guides or all the way up from divine source. So you're receiving divine love into your heart. There we go. That's good. And then let that beautiful divine love, that light of divine love move down now. Just relax your shoulders, your jaw, loosen your hips, relax your diaphragm. Let that light of divine love move into your belly. And then into your tailbone, honoring your body and really connecting with the earth. So drop that beam of light down the grounding cord. We're fully connected to spirit, divine source, connected to the earth. And I just invite you back to your heart. We sort of started our time together talking about the beautiful heart of the healer. So letting your heart fill with love, let your heart fill with this divine love. And we're going to send some honor, gratitude, appreciation to your heart, which shown up on this planet as a healer in a really dicey time and human history. So here's some gratitude, love, some props for the heart, your heart of a healer, your heart as a healer. And if there's any heaviness in your heart, just exhale it out. And we're going to call down now your higher self. Call it towards your heart. Just invite your higher self to come forward. Maybe you see your higher self as a beautiful angel, or a ball of light, or some kind of divine being. Maybe it looks just like you. Maybe you don't see anything, but you feel or sense a presence around you. You just sense or know or feel it. Maybe you hear the presence of this being. Your higher self is always with you. Your higher self is one of your absolute best spirit guides and is the guide that knows the most about your life purpose. And your higher self is like a interface, a conduit between you and your soul. So let's take a moment and draw that into the heart and ask your higher self, what do you need to know right now about your healing business, about your life purpose as a healer? What's the next step in your journey? And just see what it's going to show you. Your higher self is going to show you your path right now. And that might be an image, a feeling, a sensation, a knowing. An answer might arise in you, sort of like an aha moment. And if you're feeling nothing much coming in this moment, just know that this information is being downloaded into your subconscious. 100% it is. And that it will arise maybe in your dreams. Check your dreams tonight, or in signs and omens over the course of the next few days. Sometimes our conscious mind, sometimes this information bypasses our conscious mind and goes directly into the subconscious. And it sort of filters up into our conscious mind later. So just receive this next instructions on your path. It's a crazy world out there. We need it. We need to update we need our GPS to update the direction of where we're supposed to go. And maybe there's some questions on your mind about your path forward. If you have a specific question, go ahead and ask. And your higher self knows this is tough. It's not an easy gig being a healer on planet Earth in 2025. And it's got a gift for you, something to help make things easy for you. So I want you to receive that gift. And your higher self's going to give you something. It could be a feeling, an object, a symbol, a sensation, a knowing, an answer to your question. Let that symbol anchor into your heart. Let it become a reminder of your path. Just receive it, even if you don't know what it means. Now take a deep breath and just let your higher self merge with you, merge with your current self. You can imagine like giving your higher self a hug, and it's just going to merge into you. Feel it integrating into your body, into your heart, into your belly, into your confidence and your vision about your path forward. And we're going to hold on to this right now while I do the quantum healing. So quantum healing works with light. It's very quick. And my intention is to help you find clarity about your path and to remove any obstacles that are in your path, so that whatever your path forward, it's really going to be simple, easy, and fun. It's just going to roll out in front of your feet like the yellow brick road rolls out in front of Dorothy's feet in The Wizard of Oz. That easy. You look down and you see your path like that. So I'm going to be quiet for maybe a couple of minutes and you receive the quantum healing. Quantum healings are deep. So all you have to do is relax and receive, and we'll be back with each other again in a minute. Everybody take a really deep breath now. Just begin to feel your body again. Begin to pull yourself back into your center. So recall your energy back into your heart and your belly. Feel the heaviness of your body in the chair. Feel the grounding cord. Feel your heart beating in your chest. If you feel lightheaded or kind of buzzy, which can happen sometimes with quantum healing, just drop all the extra energy you have down the grounding cord. Maybe start moving around a little bit, wiggle your fingers and toes around. When you feel ready, open your eyes. That was a really beautiful healing, actually. First of all, make sure you drink water, because after you receive quantum healing, we can be really, really thirsty. So drink water, maybe write in your journal anything you experienced from the guided meditation or the quantum healing you don't want to forget. And yeah, just I would say really pay attention over the next 24 to 48 hours. What arises in your dreams? What aha moments do you have? What signs it, because those seeds got planted, and sometimes it can take a little while for it to filter into our subconscious. I felt when I did the healing, a lot of past life clearing happened, a lot of clearing in the throat chakra, which wasn't a surprise to me. A lot of clearing in the second chakra around the navel chakra, around receiving money, around abundance, sort of money wounds. Some clearing in the third chakra around worthiness and deserving, like feeling worthy. And then it was a bit rocky, and then all of a sudden that everyone's systems sort of aligned. It was so beautiful when that happened. There was a lot of harmony and alignment. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email and let me know how that healing went for you. And if there's anything in that came up in your guided meditation you want to share with me, I love hearing those comments. So really good self-care after healing like that is super important. Get some rest, drink water, take care of yourself. And if you're ready to keep the momentum going that we started tonight, think about it, that if that Mastering Your Healing Business class feels right for you, just let me know. And we start soon. We start August 25th. I only work with a small group, so I can give you the personal support you need. And the early bird pricing saves you $500 and ends on August 20th. So if your heart's saying yes to that, let me know. Join us and let me know how that, and whether or not you join, I mean, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking this, brave step. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a healer, and the world needs your gifts. So whatever way you find to bring that out into the world is so beautiful. So anyway, thank you so much for being here with me and sharing this time with me. And this is something that I feel really passionately about. So thank you for sharing, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Bye.